welcome back, Shobai Keys. On Tech Deep Dives today, we have BTC versus ETH. So by Valerio Puccioni, article was created 2 days ago. So Shobai Keys, when looking at this article, if this is your first time of coming to our YouTube channel, we do recommend you click on the red subscribe button below this video and turn on the notifications so that you get notified whenever we drop beneficial uploads. Also, we also recommend you click on the like button, click on the share button, and drop your feedback in the comment section, whichever, so we'll be in touch together. So remember the time you walked into your bank and sent $40,000 to a friend on the spot and paid for the entire transaction with your pocket change? Yeah, I know it's impossible, but what if I told you that it's actually possible and you actually do it right now? Sure, not with the money in your bank, but with your BTC you can, and with your BTC you can own your bank, you can be your own bank too, and earn interest rates similar to the ones your bank has access to, using your money to earn. And with Ethereum, things can get even wider thanks to decentralized finance protocols, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. So we're going to cover these crypto assets and go over some critical differences between BTC and ETH. So BTC versus ETH, we have when we think about BTC and ETH, it helps us to think of them in two ways. First as assets and second as decentralized networks. As crypto assets, we are taking BTC and ETH as networks. The most important difference between BTC and ETH is in their structure. Specifically, as a blockchain technology, BTC is a transactional network. It inherits in value is stores derived from transacting BTC. ETH can be used as the current digital currency for transacting too. Well, we'll be overlooking its most more interesting properties. To see the Ethereum blockchain as an account-based model, it was presented as a world computer powered by self-executing algorithms called smart contracts. On the other hand, we can think of BTC as purely transactional, while Ethereum is more of the smart contracts platform on which decentralized applications, dApps, can be built. So is Ethereum better than BTC? It's hard to compare the two. As a layer 1, you can't do anything on BTC except transact BTC. You can't buy NFTs, you can't even lend, borrow, or stake. But let's not forget BTC is the fastest asset to reach $1 trillion market cap in history, and as a store value of BTC still bears the crown. So does ETH deliver more utility? Sure. But is ETH the next BTC? No way. Is by Josie. So there is no next Bitcoin. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. So you might now be wondering, okay, I understand what BTC is transactional, but what can I actually buy with BTC? The answer is anything and everything. But this is related to another frequent asked question: when can I take out my BTC and exchange it for real money? So let's dig briefly into the properties of BTC or properties of real money here. BTC and ETH have sounder properties of hard money than fiat currency. Why? Well, for one, they are deflationary. There's no central authority that can devalue them at a moment's notice. You can also self-custody your BTC and ETH, essentially acting as your own bank. And if you want to lend your tokens, a 5% APY sounds pretty sweet until you find out it's the norm and some yields go much higher. It may be best to hold and earn until mass adoption allows us to purchase everyday things with our BTC and ETH and other crypto holdings. Could mass adoption happen sooner than you think? In 2021, El Salvador was the first country to announce BTC will become a legal tender. Many others are sure to follow, but it isn't just nation states that are discussing crypto adoption. There are companies both large and small are looking for ways to incorporate crypto into their payment systems. Even legacy financial institutions like Visa and MasterCard are offering users ways to gain exposure to crypto. Newer third-party payment gateways like PayPal and Venmo are now on board too. For mass adoption, BTC is clear winner here. We have crypto moves in waves. People who are new to crypto are exposed first to BTC, then learn about ETH, and then other altcoins. This is why price movement in the cryptocurrency market trends to follow this pattern every cycle. So investing in ETH versus BTC, you're going to compare BTC, ETH from an investor's perspective. Your portfolio allocation between these two crypto assets depend primarily on how bullish you are for the decentralized finance. So if you are a serious investor, you need to determine whether the transaction to Ethereum 2.0 will be smooth and successful. This could determine Ethereum's long-term future price. Both BTC and ETH are proof of work blockchains which take up a fair amount of energy to mine and confirm new blocks. For ETH 2.0, we see a full transition from proof of work to proof of stake, a much more energy efficient alternative. We also want to compare layer 2 solutions for BTC against those of ETH. For BTC, these include the Lightning Network Payment Protocol and stacks. For ETH, a promising layer 2 project is Polygon Matic. It purports to resolve the trilemma problem first introduced by Vitalik Buterin in the Ethereum white paper. So here's a quick down. You can have decentralization, scale, and security, but not all three. Something must be sacrificed. So not so says Polygon, not so repeats the other Ethereum killers in chorus. So but word of advice, I wouldn't go all in on either one or any one of these crypto assets. You never want to go maxi. So those are some of the NFEs you want to take note of, or DYOR you want to take note of. So diversification is a form of risk management to consider. You want to hedge your bets, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency market. Yes, the greatest gains come from going all in, but so do the greatest losses. And when you spread your bets among several strong horses, you don't need all your horses to win. Even just by money bets like BTC and ETH should continue gaining against all these assets classes. This includes the world's reserve currency, the almighty US dollar. So it's best to have healthy exposure to both BTC and ETH. Doing so limits your risk to other popular cryptocurrencies and asset classes like real estate and gold. Say you're confused and want to hold more BTC and ETH, but which one should you hold more? The answer depends on upside potential and maturity, which is also related to risk. And a brief description of how it works: as a digital currency, BTC has had a long time to mature, cycle 11 years. Compare this with ETH, which has had a life cycle of roughly half that. In other words, despite the high price volatility of both, BTC is more stable and thus less risky compared to ETH. But this also means that ETH has a lot more upside potential, I bet, with more risk. And because BTC stands alone with no competitors as a solely transactional blockchain, ETH may be the riskier bet. Many ETH killers have launched in the past with interesting applications of blockchain technology. However, a convincing one has yet to present itself, and from a market share perspective, none of them came close. They instead, tools helping the growth of Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem have been enjoying positive price action. One example is Loopring LRC, which brings ZK rollups to ETH. So the rollups can be used to bundle thousands of transactions off chain, move them on chain via cryptographic action. So BTC and ETH, both big winners to beat. The big things are happening with both BTC and ETH and crypto as a whole. So don't blink, just hold your bags and hold them tight, and let's see what the future holds for both of them. So guys, that's all we have on this review or updates on BTC and ETH. If you find it beneficial, feel free to like, share videos. You can also subscribe, click on the subscribe button so you get notified whenever we drop updates. However, I think as of recording the dip, there is a huge, massive dip, about 50% or 40 to 50% of these particular crypto assets. So you want to do your own research, NFE, likely maybe buying the dip, or you might also want to make your own research to understand what to do. Stay tuned for more, guys. Peace out.